Okay, the next one we have here for the chapter 5. So, you write here the word chapter 5. So, capital letter, small letter. And we have here the summary, conclusion, and recommendation should be written here as all capital letter. Okay, then have here another space and then try to write here the introductory statement. Again, when you are writing your introductory statement, make sure that one there should have at least 2 to 3 sentences or even more, but not say not just one sentence. Okay, then the next one you have here the summary. Summary word here is being written as capital letter, small letter. Then what would be discussed in the summary? It should be discussed here. Number one, restate the objective of your study, restate the methodology of your study, and the third one we have here, restate the result of your study. But again, they are just written here as a summary. So dapat short lang siya because this one is already a summary. Okay, the next one we have here the conclusion. So for the conclusion, you write the word conclusion, C, capital letter, and we have here the rest are small letters. Okay, try to bold that one. Even your summary in the word is also being bold. Okay, then have here introductory statement before you go with your conclusions. Okay, your conclusion number one should eventually try to speak about the conclusion generated in your result with the SOP number one. Okay, conclusion number two would speak about the conclusion generated out of your result for the SOP number two. And conclusion number three should discuss about your SOP number three and the result for that. So if you have your 3 SOP, then you should have 3 conclusions. If you have 4 SOP, you should have your 4 conclusions. For the recommendations, okay, so it's being written here as recommendation, big capital letter R, there are small letters here for the rest of the words. Okay, and then what you're going to discuss here, the recommendations. Okay, try to give advice, a suggestion, or even try to think about the shortcomings of your study. Okay, so if not able to perform or to do that one in your study, like for example, increasing, for example, the number of the participants or even increasing the extra, then you need to recommend that one. You try to put that one. This will serve here as the basis for the future researchers who wanted to use your study as the basis for the study. Okay, so that's become your conclusion. Okay, the next one, we have here the writing or presentation of your reference. So after you have already finished your chapter 5, the next page here would be the references. So you write the word here, references, all caps, at the middle portion. Okay, then try to divide your references as to the books, to your journal, and we have also electronic resources. So when you are citing for the reference, our rule here is you need to cite that one in alphabetical order and you should have an hanging indentation. We have discussed already the formatting on how you're going to cite your reference here at the end, okay, of your references, diba? So kindly follow that one and try to refer to that the PowerPoint on how you're going to write here properly for the references. On the next page, we have here the appendices. So you should have here one page for the word. Appendices should be put on. It should be written here as all caps. And you should put that one at the center of the one page after your reference. The next page, we have your Appendix A. So it's being written here as all caps. The content of that, like authentication certificate, so it should be written here as capital small, capital small. Then, what you're going to put on that would be the scanned na authentication certificate coming from the Bureau of Plant Industry or even from the Bureau of Animals, or whatever, wherever you have authenticate your plants or even your whatever your product it is. Okay, the next one, we have here another page for the word Appendix B. So all caps, and we have here the documentation of the experiment. Then for the next page, you try to present here the pictures that you have gathered or documented during the entire process of the experimentation. Make sure that when you're presenting for the result or when you're presenting for the picture, you should have a title for that. That become your figure pa din. So you write figure 2, figure 3, then the title of that pictures. Okay, then it should be properly. Make sure that the picture is being presented with equal in size. After that one, we have here the appendix C. So all caps, another one page for this appendix C. So you could present here, certificate here, like anything related to your results, validation of your results, for example, or like say a copy of your sample result. You could scan that one and then try to put that one and it become here appendix C. Okay, the next one we have here the appendix D. Okay, this result that pertains here to your statistical analysis result here, supported by the SPSS. Just need to scan one copy of the SPSS result. You don't need to present the entire SPSS results. Okay. Anyway, ilang pages lang naman pala yun. So you could, okay, you try to scan or try to put that one. Scan all the pictures para magkaroon siya ng page number. So you try to put that one, become your appendix D. Okay, the next one, we have another page for the word appendix D. That's for the curriculum vitae. So all caps, small capital letter here. So that's for your curriculum vitae for the next page. Okay, now we have here for the curriculum vitae. So we have the format for that. Okay, so you write your name here, full name as in all caps. And try to bold each of the letters here. Then write here your address, contact number, email address. Then a picture of yours here, 1.5 by 1. Should be a white background and should be taken here in your uniform. Then try to put line. The next we have your educational background should be written as all caps. Tertiary, secondary, elementary, your schools. Next we have your training and seminars attended, all caps. Should be bold din ito. Awag nyo na lang i-bold pala. Okay, then we have here, you start with your recent seminars. Then we have here the anyway, bold nyo na lang. Educational background, training seminars attended, bold that one. Then we have your personal information should also be written as all caps. It should be bold. Should include here your personal information like your age, your birthday, citizenship, religion, mother or father's name. Then the last we have here the certifications. I hereby certify that the above information is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and capability and belief. Okay, then we have that your name as this type of format. We have here Romy M. Castor, capital and small letters, and we have here research proponent. So ito ay walang space. Okay, for some other reminders. Okay, so for the basic na, okay, the margin. So dapat dito na sa left side natin is 1.5, 1, we have also 1 and 1 inches. It's 1.5 here kasi we're giving here much of the space because it is where we're going to bind. This is the area where we try to bind, so that gives you here ample space for that. So 1.5. And another reminder also here that when you're writing the entire manuscript, so we are assuming already that you have already done with the entire study. So I mean to say, all those being done already finished, and therefore your tense when you're writing here for the verb, it should be past tense. Okay, so try to correct for that. And like for example, if there's changes in your methodology or anything like that, okay, try to check your chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3 and try to make necessary correction for that. Okay, because I've assumed here that you have already finished with chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. But since along the way, there are some changes in your methodology. So whatever the changes on that, you need to make correction for the chapter 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so